Okay. Oh, hi, Loonies! So, I told you guys about 2 days ago that I would do an embarrassing moments video when we reached 1,000. And however many likes my status got, I would do that many moments. I got 10. I didn't think I'd get that many. But I keep my promises. So here we go. And I'm just going to go through all my years in school, because that's normally when they are. And we'll go from there. Oh yeah, and as you can see, I'm in my Tweety Bird onesie with a Slim jacket on my lap. It's just how I am, okay? Alright, so we're going to start this off in first grade. I remember I was in love with this little ginger kid named Ray. I mean, I sat next to him, I would look at his paper and I'd copy the way he wrote, and I learned how to do my twos from him. Yeah, that's right. If you're watching this, I copied your handwriting. I was a stalker when I was 7. And, well, I had this little notebook, and I, wrote his name in it, and I drew a heart around it, and I would, write all these things I loved about him, and I drew us and us getting married and stuff. I was a weird kid. Yeah, so I did that, and I was going home with my friend one day, home to her house, because I went home with her every other Wednesday, and I was going home with her, and it fell out of my little backpack thing, and her sister picked it up, and she was like, "Mary, what is this?" And I was like, "It's a notebook." And she said, "Who's Ray?" And my friend was like, "Oh my god, that's the kid in our class!" And so I made her sister swear that she wouldn't tell anybody that I liked him, because I would die if he knew. I would die. Okay? And so she swore, and and the next day at school, I was chasing him at recess like I did every day, because that's how I get my men, chase him at recess. And this other guy who was older than us, he was like a 4th grader or something. Mind you, we're in 1st grade. And he goes, "Well, man, why are they chasing you?" Because it was me and my friend. And he said, "Well, I don't know why one of them is, but the other one likes me." I stopped dead in my tracks, and I just looked at him, burst into tears, and ran and hid in a tree. I was so embarrassed that I wanted to move to Canada. I wanted to pretend like I never knew him. Ever. That's how embarrassing that was. Ugh. Still have nightmares about that. Anyways, so moving on, in 2nd grade, we had this day where we were doing things with apples. Don't ask me why, we just were. And one thing was where you laid on a sheet of paper and they measured how tall you were and how many apples would be your height. And I was wearing a dress, and I wasn't wearing shorts, and I laid down on that paper, and I almost cried because I thought everyone was looking up my dress.
Really?
Yes, I was so scared. And so I laid down and I put my arms over myself, and I was like, no one look at me. It's one of the most embarrassing days of my life. Alright, so we're going to move on to 3rd grade now. I had this teacher, and her name was Miss Hartlob. She was an awesome teacher, by the way. And I sat in the very back of the classroom, and every day, whenever she was teaching, I would lean my chair back, and I would lay on the computer desks and try to fall asleep. And I remember one day I was doing that, and she yelled at me, "Are you okay back there?" And so I snapped forward and hit my desk, and I said, yeah, I'm fine. I'm perfect. I almost had a heart attack. I was so embarrassed, because she caught me sleeping in her class while I was bending the chair back. I know it sounds weird, but I was a weird kid. Anyways, so let's think. Now, we're in 4th grade now, and I like this kid named Riley, and he sat next to me, and no, I was not a stalker this time. I wasn't copying his handwriting or anything. And we were working on a project, me, him, and these two other kids whose names I don't remember. And I remember I pulled his chair back, and he sat down right when I did that. And so he slammed his butt on the ground and hit his head on the chair, and then his head snapped back and hit the desk. He didn't like me after that. I was so embarrassed. I thought I was just going to have to, like, go move to a different country. You know, this always happens when I like someone. Why? Alright, so we're going to move on now. Don't like thinking about that time of my life. Now we're at 5th grade. In 5th grade, I rode my bike to school because I lived 4 blocks from the school. Well, I still do. Our elementary school is, like, just right up there. Yeah, so I rode my bike to school every day, except when it was, like, raining or way too hot. Then I would ride the bus that stopped in front of my house. And so I'd ride my bike to school, and one day in the 5th grade, I found out that this kid started a rumor that I lived in a box because I rode my bike to school. He told everyone that I lived in a box, and that's the only reason I rode my bike. We're 5th graders, and they all believed it. To this day, people still think I live in a box. To this day. I had a girl come up to me yesterday in class, and I'm a 9th grader, and she said, "Do you still live in a box?" I was like, no. Do you know how mortified I was? They thought I lived in a box! Okay, moving on. Alright, let's try and think. In 7th grade, I skipped 6th grade, didn't I? Alright, in 6th grade, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's think of an embarrassing moment. I remember this now. I really, really liked my math class because I had an awesome teacher, okay? And so we had to do this whole thing where we would go up to the board and quick write the problem and finish it before the kid that was next to us. So it was like a little competition, right? And so everyone was so terrified to go up against me because I was pretty smart. I mean, I'm gonna admit it, I was smart. And we were working with negatives, and I did my problem so wrong that I ended up with a decimal and a half. Needless to say, he beat me, and I wanted to cry. I was so embarrassed. Little Miss Smart Kid can't do negatives because she gets a decimal and a half. Anyways, and then, get this, at the end of 6th grade, okay, so in 3rd and 4th grade, I had always been in GT, which, for you people that don't know, is gifted and talented. Yeah, I was gifted, right? I had a brain, okay? In 6th grade, I had to take the GT test and stuff, and I was taking it. I failed because I wasn't creative enough. I'm sorry, I can't draw pictures and think of funny names in 30 minutes. Was it really my fault? No. No, it wasn't. It was the stupid lady's fault. How was I supposed to know that an S couldn't be a snake? Oh no, it had to be something creative, like a balloon string. So I failed, and I came home, and I cried, and I cried, and I was so embarrassed because everyone's like, "Oh my god, she's so smart," and stuff. It's just like when I got that decimal and a half. We have 3 more to go, alright. Let's skip to 7th grade. 7th grade. Alright, so, here's a great one, okay? So we had the Spirit Week, and one day, it was Decade Day, and I thought, people were going as, like, you know, from the 80s or the 70s or the 90s or whatever. I thought it would be a good idea to go from the 1700s. So I wore a pilgrim outfit to school. Thinking, oh, you know, I'm so awesome and like snazzy and stuff. I wasn't. My teacher made me take a picture and she put it in our little class thingy at the end of the year, and at the bottom it said Martha. My name's not Martha. And when everyone saw it, they were like, ah ha ha ha, she looks so stupid. You know what? I wanted to go crawl in a hole and live with like monkeys for the rest of my life. I was so embarrassed. I can't even. Okay, moving on from that. That was a very traumatic event. Alright, also in 7th grade, my friends and I, we thought it would be a good idea to smell Germ-X all the time. And so my friend convinced us that when we did this, we were getting high. And so whenever we would smell the Germ-X on our hands, we would like smell it like that. We would smell it like that. And whenever we do that, we'd act all crazy and we were high on Germ-X. And so one day we were out at Eagle's Nest, which is like recess for middle school for us. And we got it every other week and stuff, you know. And so we were out at Eagle's Nest and we were getting high on Germ-X and sniffing it on our hands. And I was acting weird, so I tripped. And I accidentally tripped up the bleachers right in front of the two guys I liked. They haven't talked to me since. I don't know. I guess there's just something happens when you trip up bleachers that makes people not like you. Why do most of my embarrassing moments involve guys? I don't know. Anyways, I think that's 9. Let me think. Yeah, that's 9. Alright, we're on our last one. Alright, 8th grade. We were talking about the body because we had to do biology in 9th grade. And we were talking about the eye. And we were looking at pictures. And it was stuff that I did. I could have lived my whole life without seeing. And so I was giving this like really grossed out face like, oh my god, I'm going to die. This is so disgusting. And so my teacher, she says, are you alright over there? And so I answered, yeah, I'm fine. It's just gross. And she said, oh, is something wrong with you? I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Lauren. And I was like, what? And so the girl behind me is like, yeah, my contact's just falling out. Your contact's falling out? What? Anyways, I was so confused when she said that. And then I was really embarrassed because she wasn't even talking to me. And I made a fool of myself because I answered. And so I just shrunk down and didn't talk for the rest of the class. Because I felt like everyone was staring at me, looking at me weird. So I hope you enjoyed that embarrassing moment. Little spiel thing. Anyways, I have some announcements to make now that we've gotten that over. We have a YouTube channel for the page where we're going to put up things for the admins. Like, we're going to do something called admin name read. It's not called admin name. It's whatever admin it is reads. And we're going to read books because all of us have really, really awesome voices. You know, I mean, just listen to this. Anyways, so we have a YouTube channel. It's I Suspect the Narcos Are Behind It. You should go check it out and subscribe. This will be our first video. And we just reached 1,000, obviously, since I'm doing this video. But guys, this is monumental. Like, this is big. Okay? I can't tell you how exciting this is. And Winky is going to be having a headcanon contest soon. And so you guys should wait for that and get really excited and pumped. So these are all things that's going on this month and October. Check it out. Get excited. have fun with the page, and keep giving us your love. I love you, loonies. Bye!